having a great week. Alright then, so come across this video by a Mr. Paul Thorpe. I don't know this guy, don't know his channels, but the title of his video is Why the UK is Screwed Up, except he didn't use the word screwed up. So being that I'm a UK resident, and I'm pretty, well, I'm not impressed with the way things have been going over the past decade or so. It's been going downhill for a long time, but it's just getting ridiculous now. So I'd like to hear this guy's point of view, some of the points that he makes, see what he has to say, and then I shall react and respond accordingly. Alright, so let's see what he's saying. Mr. Paul Thorpe.
So yesterday I get a phone call from my youngest daughter and she says, "Dad, I'm feeling really upset, really disturbed." I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "I've seen this video on TikTok and it's just like done my head in." And I said, "Well, send it to me, let's have a look." So let's have a little look at the video that upset us so much.
So they saw him walking alone. We live in a very small village, so this is not a major city. It was in the middle of the day as well, and they saw him walking alone across a field.
I don't need this guy to tell me that the legal system in this country is backwards, to say the least. Backwards. We have two legal systems, you could say here. We've got the criminal legal system, criminal law, and we got the civil legal system, civil law. Really, you got three, in my opinion, because the third one falls under civil law, but you can't get no help from anyone related to civil law or criminal law. That third one being family law. Not going to get into that here. It's just a point. So I already have a feeling what she's going to say here, that this guy in this small village has done some absolutely outrageous crime. Because it's a small village, everyone's scared, and his sentencing was, as it says there, £50 an apology. And everyone's got to walk past that guy, including probably his victims as well, whatever he's done. We're going to hear what he's saying anyway, but just to say that I'm not ignorant to that. That's for sure. That is for sure.
And they all turned on their telephones to video it on social media, live on social media. This group charged my son. He was alone, defenceless. They charged him. There was a group of about 9 of them. And as soon as he saw them coming, he just froze. They were all hooded, had masks on, and he just fell to the ground in fear. Makes me really emotional still talking about it.
Of course it would, man.
How old was your son at this point?
He was just a teenager. He was 15. He was 15, and he was walking across a field to go and meet a girl. So it was just awful. So yes,
and this is in a village.
On the video, you see him fall to the floor, just in fear, pure fear.
Yeah.
They all circle around him and they all start kicking him. And then this small boy, you just see him on the corner of the screen run in, and something happens. You can't see it very clearly on the video. I've had to watch this. The police showed it to me, and it was just the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. And you see this small boy kind of come in from the side of the screen, run in, and then everybody disperses really quickly. It's a bizarre thing to watch. And my son's still on the floor in the fetal position, and you see the wobbling of all the cameras as everyone's running away. They didn't know if my son was alive or dead at that point, and they just videoed it and put it all over the internet. The perpetrator was identified because he was the smallest of the group, so from the video, he was able to be identified who he was. He admitted to the attack of stabbing my son, and he was asked to write a letter of apology. That was his punishment.
Not really.
I swear the court ordered him to write a letter of apology and there was a £50 fine.
Nah, bruv. Nah, bruv.
That was the justice that my son got.
I honestly, something is going very, very badly wrong. Very, very badly wrong in this country. If a 15-year-old boy can be stabbed in the head, left for dead, bleeding at the side of the road, and a letter of apology and a £50 fine is considered it. That is
right
one of the
there.
most astonishing calls I've ever.
That right there, £50 an apology from this little POS who it's attempted murder. What are you talking about, bro? It's attempted murder. And you feel that, Mr. Judge, that making him write a letter and charging him 50 quid is what's going to make him realise the evil that he has done. Are you dumb, bruv? Are you? And then at the same time, £50 an apology, you know. And then at the same time, you don't pay your council tax on time. They'll come empty out your whole entire yard. You ain't paying the flipping TV licensing thing. You're getting locked up. But you take out a borer, you stab someone in the head, £50 an apology. Yeah. This country is mash up right now, I'm telling you. It is screwed beyond all recognition.
And frankly has left me utterly speechless.
Yeah, that's mad, bruv.
Where do you even start? Where do you even start? A 15-year-old boy set upon by a gang of youths in a park for no other reason they wanted to live stream an attempted murder. By the sounds of it, I think the boy survived, but my daughter was so distressed, and I thought, you know what, I've got to find this woman.
This happened to a family member of mine, minus the knife. She got rushed on camera by about 20 girls. Rushed. And one thing I give my relative is that she stood tall as well. That's for me, that's the main thing that I took from that video. She didn't back down, she didn't quiver, she didn't cry. She took the licks and she gave it as well. Same thing in her situation. She was being recorded being rushed. And when it got back to the school, who got in trouble? No one. No one got in trouble except for my relative. Make it make sense.
Hear her story, because I've spoken to you guys so many times in the past about the criminal justice system in this country and how it values us, how it treats us, and the fact that it won't enable us to defend ourselves when they just don't give a shit about any of us.
That's right. And that's the deep thing about it. I was thinking about this earlier on. I was watching a video about these guys who take paracords. I think it was sailors. They used to take paracords. They used to get a ball, like a small metal ball, or a small cue ball or something, and they would do a monkey's knot around this ball, and then coming off like a little, plated continuation of the. Here's a picture. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You get caught with that, you're getting arrested. See, in America, you can get concealed license. The laws are a bit, from what I've been told from my American friends and American family, that in most cases the law is like the king of the castle kind of law. Someone comes into your property, bam, they'll come and shake your hand, even if you got an illegal firearm. You'll get in trouble for it. You're not supposed to have that as a fine, but well done. You know what I'm saying? Here, all forms of self-defense tools are banned. You can't carry CS gas, pepper spray, some kind of kosh. Definitely can't carry a knife in this country, or firearms, forget that. That's fair enough. We can't have people This is why we have such a terrible pandemic of murders right now in this country with knives, because everyone claims they need one for protection, and in a lot of cases they do need it for protection, but it's a cycle that never ends. That the only way to cut it off is like our brother Faz Amnesty does, is everyone needs to give up the blades. Everyone needs to give up the blades, because it's becoming terrible here right now, you know. But at the same time, self-defense laws in this country are almost non-existent. If a person who is attacking you ends up worse off, you will get in trouble. You will get in trouble. There's nothing out there that you can carry on you legally as like some kind of self-defense, whatever, paraphernalia. And if you use that in an act of self-defense, you will get in trouble. Probably more trouble than the person who set out to attack you, rob you, murk you, whatever. So keep that in mind. Let's get back into it.
It makes my blood boil. So I decided to try and find this family. I decided to try and Google this crime. And I typed in 15-year-old boy stabbed in a park, etc., etc. I tried all the different terms, teenager stabbed in park, etc. And I couldn't find it. And do you know why I couldn't find it? Because there are hundreds of them. Go and look for yourselves. Type in teenager stabbed. Teenager stabbed in park. Take your pick. London, Birmingham, Newcastle, Plymouth, Bristol.
Yep.
You name it.
Yep.
It's happening every day of the week, it seems, right across the country. What has happened to this country, our police and our criminal justice system, when people feel that they can go around doing this stuff to their fellow human beings without seemingly...
Because they know nothing's going to happen. What's the worst that's going to happen? You get a fine and... You get a fine and you have to write a letter of apology. You taking the piss, bruv.
Recourse. In this case, a £50 fine and a letter of apology. Why didn't the judge just stick another knife into that poor boy's mother?
Exactly.
Honestly, I'm just almost lost for words. Make of it what you will. Tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Have we completely and utterly lost the goddamn plot in this country? Have we gone mad? Are victims no longer cared for? The victims no longer matter?
The only people that's considered victims is people that have lost a vast amount of money through some kind of robbery or something like that. And I'm talking like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds. Not your little 5-6 grand or something like that. That's it. From what I worked in security for a good few years. Had a lot of interactions with the police. A lot of interactions with the police. It's part of my job. Every time there was some kind of attempted robbery or some kind of crime committed on the premises that I had work jurisdiction over, I had to report it to the police. I even went to the police and showed them how the safe in the property was robbed for 6-7 grand. Had the footage, cameras, everything, recording the perp doing it. They never got back to me. Filed all the official reports and everything. Nothing came of it. They never got back to me. You know, unless you're a businessman or something like that. Because when you think about it, look at the laws. The vast majority of the laws for the English legal system, criminal or civil, is for the protection of people's goods more than anything else. The protection of people's goods. You know, you will get more time in prison in this country for armed robbery than what you would for the worst acts that one could commit towards children. It's a fact. So I'm feeling everything this guy is saying, man.
Seemingly any recourse. In this case, a £50 fine and a letter of apology. Why didn't the judge just stick another knife into that poor boy's mother. Honestly, I'm just almost lost for words. Make of it what you will. Tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Have we completely and utterly lost the goddamn plot in this country? Have we gone mad? Are victims no longer cared for? The victims no longer matter? And Labour, I read yesterday that Labour want to ban a complete blanket ban on swords. Yes, swords. Now, I did a bit of research on this.
Go on.
Virtually, I could not find a single crime committed with a sword in the UK in the last year.
Why are you making a big focus on banning? It's a weapon, yeah, ban all weapons. But why are you not focusing it on the combat knives, the people that are selling these flipping mutant zombie killing shanks? You know what I'm saying? You're focusing on swords. I got a sword out there that was from my nan. You know, an antique sword. I'm not gonna walk down the road and chop anyone up with it. Even if I was going out looking for trouble, I'm not taking that with me. That's the last thing I would take. A flipping sword. So at first I was like, okay, blanket ban on swords. But then, like he said, as he said it, before he actually went into it, I was thinking to myself, hold on. In how many cases was a sword actually used? Why can't it be all bladed objects? That's for useful, other than cooking. And even then, you know what I'm saying? If it's not a butter knife, ban it.
Couldn't find one. Machetes, yes. Large knives, yes.
Yeah.
Kitchen knives, as many as you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
But Labour have got this idea in their head now
Batty old
that
Starmer.
banning swords will be an answer to a problem.
Yeah, it's not.
A blanket ban.
Yeah, it's not.
So you can say goodbye to the Edinburgh military town. You can say goodbye to the thousands of people that do historical reenactments across the country. You can say goodbye to fencing, a complete sport all on its own. Just like you can now say goodbye to shooting. Even our Olympic shooters have to go abroad to practice.
Yeah.
These governments that we vote in, that are mad enough to vote these people in, they keep banning things.
Not me, bruv.
Trying to make us safer, or so they think. But actually things are just getting worse and worse and worse. You can even say goodbye to anyone being knighted, because to be knighted,
need a sword.
The king would use a sword. And a blanket ban on swords is a blanket ban. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely
makes no sense.
Bonkers. And people wonder why I've had enough.
Stark raving Starmer bonkers. Batty old Starmer. Yeah. That was good. That was good. He went in, man. He went in on that one. Yeah, he went in on that one. A lot of things that I agree with him with. You know, this country is mash up. When I was growing up in the 90s, well, growing up in the 80s and living my life as a teenager and a young adult in the 90s, it's nothing new. All this criminality and all of that, it's nothing new. It's just more glorified now. It's more mainstream now. It's more accessible now in the sense that everyone's got phones, you know. But at the same time as well, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, this country's going down, it's getting worse, It's the same as it's always been, but it's just the focus has gone from here to there, you know. When I was growing up, you had just as many people dying. They were being shot. It was all about guns back in the 90s. Everyone had a gun. Well, every bad man on the street had a gun or access to a gun. And I'm not just talking about old rusty shotguns. They were getting this stuff from Eastern Europe, you know, like while the wars were going on in Serbia, Bosnia, Chechnya and places like that. But the borders were open, the European borders. People just trafficked that shit across on the ferries. Flipping, you know, the maddest of combat pistols, submachine guns, rifles, and in some cases automatic rifles, you know. I don't know if it's the if it's just got harder to get access to, or for some reason people's criminals' love has been transferred from guns back to knives again. But now, this day and age, it's more about knives. And knives are, you know, guns are guns and knives are knives, but knives are brutal. Brutal objects to be attacked with, and I now seek refuge in God Almighty from that ever happening to me or any of my family. You know, I've lost a few friends and family to the streets over the years, and it's never a nice thing. But it's always the response of the government and the police. It's just like, fuck are you doing, man? You know? Excuse my language. It's always the response of the police and the government. It's just like, you just look at them like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, so anyway, it's a deep subject. I look forward to some of your feedback with this situation, and yeah, this guy's spot on. I'm gonna have to check out some more of his videos, see if there's anything worth following up on. But yeah, that's just a madness. Alright then, let me know what you think. You like this video, you like this reaction, you like what he had to say. Hit the like button and subscribe. With that being said, I'm gonna wish you a good night or a good day wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.